Hello. Hi, Katie. Hi, Angie.
Are you on mute?
No.
So Chris, did you have confirmation about the shelter in Churchill? Because I saw a discussion back and forth about, no, it wasn't allowing homeless in.
Oh, you know what's going on?
Well, I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's that?
Okay, now I can.
no wonder you look confused.
Annika had her headphones plugged in. I was like, what? I was like, Katie's not muted. Hello, were you saying something I missed?
So Brad posted that he got information from you that there was a homeless shelter opening at Churchill tonight.
Yes, it is.
I saw several other discussions about it being only for fire evacuees and that you had to show proof of address.
Jeff went over
I
there.
wondered if you got any confirmation otherwise.
Yeah, my friend Jeff went over there and talked to them, and they said that they are admitting people. So he has been driving through the Whitaker, looking to see if anybody wants to go. So, I mean, truthfully, I mean, what's today? Today's the 16th.
Okay.
I mean, you know, you might as well open something right at the end of this.
Guy.
I know. It's driven me crazy. I mean, that has just been a very callous response from our city and our county, but that's all we can do.
Yeah.
It's not getting us anywhere. Letter writing, calling, you know. I mean, they had a rummage sale at the fairgrounds, so that was pretty important.
Hmm.
Good.
And they had to take in all those animals too, which is pretty important. But that was on the other side, not where they were housing human beings before.
Right.
Hi, Travis. AKA Chris. Let me change that.
Chris.
What's up?
Hi, buddy. How do I?
Did you guys look up at the sky tonight? I can see the butte from my house. It's actually clear.
I know. It looks nice.
It's very exciting. It just feels like this load has been lifted.
True. Hi, Steven. Yeah,
Hi
really.
there. Yeah, AQI is under 150 for.
Yay!
What is that? Very unhealthy, or are we?
Horrible. Yeah.
Just don't hyperventilate.
Angie, do you have a filter on your, or is your hair actually red?
Yeah,
It is
I got
red.
Mhm. It was blonde because of COVID, because I did not have the dye I needed.
Oh.
So then I dyed it again.
So now it's the natural color of red?
Back to my natural, yeah. I'd like to do shades of pink.
That's great, because now when you walk by, I'll know it's really you.
Yeah.
Not wonder, who's that blonde lady waving at me?
I know.
Mine was naturally red.
It was red? You're a ginger?
It was.
Yeah,
Hey.
still a little bit
701.
ginger at the ends.
I think Brad's going to be here and Ian's going to be here. I talked to him
He's
earlier.
online.
I think that might be it though. Eddie just texted me and said that Michelle, the lady that lives in the pink house over by that 992 house, Juniper Frazier's, she almost got kidnapped by a Mexican dude in a gold SUV ZYE 776. So that sounds pretty scary.
Outside her house, or where?
Yeah. I haven't, and Eddie's has been over there, you know, at least helping her, or fraternizing. I don't really know what's going on, but yeah, I can't believe that. That's just nuts. I want to call him after this meeting and find out a little bit more information, but that's kind of scary. Hi, Brad. Land of the free. Where's that? Canada?
Brad, we decided that you're right. I erased my comment
This is a for once, Brad.
about everything. Right.
Just blanket the
Good
state.
thing we can't hear you.
Brad actually has a team of 12 fact checkers.
In the
Want to
background.
hear it play, so.
Yeah, even a blind chicken gets a kernel of corn once in a while.
Dan Brown.
Something about monkeys typing Shakespeare too.
Yeah.
Was it 50 years, 50 monkeys, 50 typewriters?
With enough monkeys is enough
That's right. Hi,
typewriters,
Dan.
eventually one of them will type a sonnet.
We'll wait a couple more minutes. Ian's going to come through in a minute, I am sure. Yeah, we'll have 2 proposals from Ian. And to tell you the truth, I'm pooped. I've already reached my compassion withdrawal syndrome. Yeah. I'm not going to say anything tonight. You don't even have to do this.
That's why our meeting was so quiet the other night, because you weren't here.
'Cause I wasn't there. Thank you, Katie.
We finished early.
Margaret's not going to be here either. Margaret's got some fire company in, people that are escaping the fire. So she's a little busy. And Christine is doing something. She's in line somewhere. So she may be here by phone. I'm not quite sure.
She's picking up drugs.
Yeah. Oh, she's at the pharmacy. That's it.
Yeah.
Literally, yes.
Yeah.
She's on West 3rd, one of these clandestine houses.
Oh, God.
You okay? Not my house.
Oh, you do delivery, right, Chris?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like Uber.
Oh, dude, totally.
Well, I guess we'll just get started. Ian will be late to the party. Welcome, everyone, to the latest edition of the Whitaker Community Council. Thank you all for being here. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry
dude,
I missed it last week.
Up on the porch.
Like Katie said, it was pretty quiet, so I'll try to keep it small tonight. I really
Don't unplug the
honestly
green one.
here. I'm gonna mute Travis. I really have felt recently a little downtrodden, just due to the amount of energy that's being expended by all of us trying to take care of issues regarding our houseless community. I don't know where to go, but all I can do is not give up. And hopefully we'll have some more information about the resource center, because we're finally going to have another meeting next week, maybe. It's only going to be what, October, November before, God, I'll be 50 years old by the time that thing happens.
Woo!
I'll be 50 in November. I can't believe it. So nuts. But oh well. Oh well.
Chicken.
I know, it's tripping me out, man. So on that note, I just want to say hi, Dan.
Hi, Chris.
I am really appreciative of everyone here. And I know we all have small victories that not everybody gets to hear about. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for what you're doing. No matter how small it is, it's very, very important, because collectively we are making a change. It just doesn't seem like it's working as fast as we want it to. Let's see, Susan D. Ian. I think we know Ian. Okay. Welcome, Susan. Welcome, Ian. Hello. You haven't missed much, just me chatting about stuff. We do have, there was one more oh, Jennifer. Jennifer was gonna be here. Maybe she'll straggle in at some point near the meeting's end. Hi, Ian. I like that mustache.
Thanks, man.
It's almost as creepy as mine.
Yeah.
So welcome everyone. Does anyone have a community update? Anything in the open forum section right now? Because what I was thinking is, unless you do, we're gonna move right into Mr. Ian's. How many people? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we have enough for quorum.
6, yeah.
What's that?
Other people are with us.
2, 4.
Yeah, I have an update.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Brad. We'll do that before.
Literally it just popped into my news feed. So Marty Wilde, he's in the legislature. I can't remember. I think he's in the, he's a representative, not a state senator, right? He just told me that I sent him an article about Contra Costa County in the East Bay. They just bought a hotel and they're converting the entire thing to like 124 homeless houses. It's relatively cheap for housing down there. And I suggested to him, hey, why don't we do this? And he said, funny, he was just in a meeting on that issue today. He said, tune into the House Housing Committee meeting next week, and something might be happening.
Cool.
So,
2 years from now.
Really.
Yeah. So next
Oh.
week, the housing committee meeting. Okay. I mean, that is something I definitely want to look for, because why not? They do it with refugees in countries where they're accepting refugees. And I think that economic refugees kind of classify as people that need that type of housing.
Well, this one has that perfect combination of, we have a bunch of ratty old motels that aren't getting any customers because there's nobody moving about with this. And there's not going to be a football season, maybe. And so they're on the ropes. And this is
Yeah.
the way they can just cash out. And yeah, a lot of winners.
Yeah, I actually had talked to the hostel about this at some point, and there are some reservations just because of some of the challenges that may arise with not having case management on people that are being housed in there. A polite way of saying you never know what might happen. So I don't know, but I don't think that should dissuade us from trying. But yeah, so what day is that meeting, Brad? Do you know? Is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
He just, yeah, you know.
Okay,
I-
we
I
can
gotta
look,
look
we
it up
can
now.
put it on the page, just because I think that is pretty important. It's something to,
Is it the Housing Policy Board?
No, the Oregon State Legislature, House of Representatives, Housing, and wait a sec. The Housing
Okay.
Committee. So they have a housing committee in the House. I've never watched them before. We'll have to look it up.
it should be thrilling, I'm sure. So unless someone else has anything going on or something they'd like to talk about, let's move right into Ian's updates.
Hey everyone. Anon's not here, but he and I have been going back and forth about air quality and how that's a public health crisis that's compounding an existing public health crisis. So I don't know if Anon has the time or energy to show up tonight, but he's got some great ones. 2 motions for the board. One came from Christy, or one's inspired by Christy. She shared a grant application. It's not even really a grant application. It's more kind of like a form, really, to provide rapid response to folks who are victims of wildfire. And I know last time, I don't know if it was Chris or someone else, was talking about kind of combining people who are unhoused from wildfire and people who are unhoused from, economic crisis, whether you're refugees of wildfire or refugees of economic circumstance and mental health and substance abuse, kind of bringing those 2 groups together to have a response. And the other one is on fiscal controls and processes for the OHA grant, the Oregon Health Authority grant that we received. So I'll let y'all decide. They're both pretty dry, but I don't know what you want to talk about first. The grant that we got or this new grant proposal?
How about the new one so then we can vote on it?
Sweet. So it's really quick and dirty. I'm going to show you what the motion's like first, and then I'm going to show you what the grant proposal's like. So can y'all see this?
Yep.
Let's try again. 1, 2, 3. So I'm just requesting that the board have a discussion and a vote on the wildfire response application fund form that's part of the United Way. And it's a really wicked easy application. It's going to take a little bit. I'm just going to pull up the fund form right now. So what they're asking for is to help our community members who have experienced the loss of a home or business or are otherwise impacted as a result of the 2020 fires. I think something that's happening a lot right now is that we're forgetting that, we're not everyone's forgetting, but yeah, to support populations that are already vulnerable. The work that Chris has been leading with Black Unity, I think this this money could help us pass out things like masks, things like feminine hygiene supplies, things like oral health supplies, and just help provide direct assistance to people who already need it. You know, I'm bummed Anand's not here, but you know, he's been talking about how
He actually just clicked in.
Oh, sweet. What's up, Anand?
Hey, Ian.
So I was proposing like a discussion to the board on this $5,000 pot of money that Christy, who's also here, hi Christy, suggested we apply for. And my proposal is that we vote in favor of this and we write the application to help the unhoused community in the same way that, hi Annika, in the same way that Chris and Annika work with Black Unity to provide resources for folks. So something that you and I have been talking about is how
Yes.
the county's not announcing this as a public health crisis. You know, we're already under one public health crisis, and it might, you know, the air quality and wildfires might make COVID worse. We don't know.
Yeah, it definitely will. No doubt about it.
Yeah. So, you know, my motion to the board is a discussion on the wildfire response fund application from United Way, and see if there's a vote in favor of us submitting an application.
I think that was totally cool. If somebody's got to take care of them.
What about the city?
Yeah. Yeah. What about the city?
I don't know. I have nothing but good things to say. So, Ian, the discussion that you would like to have, yes, and yes, or does
Yeah,
anybody have any questions or anything in regards to this? I mean, it seems pretty straightforward. Go ahead, Ian. Question?
I'm wondering if we could work with Black Unity again.
Yes.
Chris, I don't know.
Yeah, I sent a message out to Midas Well. I love that name. It's so funny. And what they are looking for also is this is a message for Katie. They are, or anyone, they want assistance to become a 501c3. Or maybe
Cool.
Ian. I said that I had a meeting tonight and I would speak to my board, and this is what I'm doing. So if anyone, I could give you the contact info, or if anyone is in Black Unity, I'll put on the board page the person that I talked to. I think it might be Shauna, the ex-nurse who did all the outreach with us. But yeah, they would definitely partner. And I didn't offer to run any of their funds through our 501c3 because I'll be honest with you, those kids are making loot, and it is probably really difficult for a group of young people with a lot of different outlets trying to get all the receipts in and have everything correlated. So I think their 501c3 on their own is probably the best bet for them. You know, I mean, when I was working with them, Trey from Boop Troop made 7 G's in 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. So they're good fundraisers. I also found it pretty interesting that when our mayor was speaking, she said legitimate funding sources or something to that effect when give to the Red Cross or give to, I just thought that was maybe a little, yeah, a little tongue in cheek about not to give to Black Unity or Black Lives Matter. I thought that was rather interesting choice of words for her to say, but we'll leave that up to her. So yes, we can work with Black Unity, and what I'll do is I'll connect you with Midas or the other woman who I was working with too, Claire Michelle, or I'm sorry, her name escapes me. But yeah, if anybody wants to assist with the 501c3, I'll put their info on our board page too. All right.
Does anyone else have any things to discuss about the proposed application for the wildlife fund, wildfire response fund, rather, the application?
Do you need help?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy. If anyone wants to help with it, sure.
Okay.
You know, I'd want to write it, you know, probably Thursday night or Friday.
Okay, I'm off on Friday. I don't mind helping.
Sweet, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm gonna need help from you since you know the work with Black Unity. Yeah, and we'll go from there.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
I'm down. Can you turn that fan on?
Then I'd like to make a motion to the board that the board vote in support of us completing the United Way wildfire response fund application
I second
for
it.
a partnership with Black Unity to address the needs of our unhoused community.
I second it.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Monica's hands
Aye,
up,
aye.
everybody.
Aye.
Woo!
Aye,
Any nays?
aye, aye,
No
Shoot
nays.
it.
Sweet.
No abstaining. Oh yeah, Tara's not here. No more abstaining. No, she loved them stupid. Okay, cool. So moving right along, shall we go to the next agenda item, Mr. Ian?
Sure.
Thank you.
So
I
thanks to
appreciate it.
everyone who was there last night. Annika, Brad, Anand, Madeline, who's not here, for your help in designing the fiscal controls. It's again pretty dry stuff, but it's super important. And we call people out to do specific work. So I wanted to propose a motion for us to vote on authorizing fiscal controls and processes for our COVID-19 community-based organization grant with Oregon Health Authority. So first I wanted to have a discussion, and I wanted to go through some of the processes and the reporting and the internal controls that we talked about. So I saw that there was something in the chat. What are you eating, from Monica to Chris? I'm going to go back to the motion because I thought it was related to this.
Sorry.
The process for the board to approve any expenses, after talking to the smaller group last night, we're recommending to the board that we have at least 2 board members needed to approve any expenses, the chair and the treasurer. So they would need to act as co-signers. So at least 2. So that's what we're bringing forward. Authorized expenses to the board. If a purchase was approved by the board, so if Anand or I brought something to Chris and to Katie, we're recommending that Chris, as the chair, report those expenses to the board if they happen at least once a week as needed. And then third, folks have talked about lead time required by the board and the board grant budget approvers. So that would be Chris and Katie for authorized grant expenses to the board. Anand and I would try to give y'all 7 days. But if there is an urgent reason, then we would give y'all at least 24 hours notice. So that's to the board saying, hey, we want to bring something to Chris and to Katie. And then to y'all as the grant budget approvers to Chris and Katie. Again, we'd give you 7 days if we can, at the very least. But if there's an urgent need, we're recommending 24-hour turnover time. And then for the last bit, it's internal fiscal controls. So both Anand and I would be responsible for budget oversight for the grant. So that takes some stuff off of your plate, Katie. So, you would still be monitoring the money coming in and going out, but you wouldn't have to monitor all of the kind of grant ins and outs. But what we're asking, Katie, is that you meet with Anand and I at least once a month regarding the budget oversight. And for budget oversight, we're talking about tracking spending, tracking revenue, tracking encumbrances, which are things we're going to spend money on but haven't yet, tracking contracts for services, supplemental budget materials, grant reporting, and eligibility of expenses. So I know that's kind of a mouthful, but the basic of it is that, Katie, we're not putting everything on you. Anand and I are taking it on, and we're going to be the ones doing the most of the heavy lifting, but we still want to meet with you so that we're all on the same page. So really quick, the 4 things that we're recommending are at least 2 board members acting as co-signers, the chair and the treasurer, for any grant expenses. We're asking that Chris report those expenses to the board if they happen at least once a week. That we would give the board at least 7 days or 24 hours notice of anything that we're proposing authorization on, and the same thing for the budget approvals. And then for the fiscal control system, basically Anand and I are asking that we resume, or we take on all of the budget oversight for the grants, and that we'd meet at least once a month with Katie. So we're kind of asking, Anand and I are going to take the responsibility for most of it, but we're asking Chris as the chair to report stuff to the board, and we're asking Katie to meet with Anand and I at least once a month. We wanted to do this so it's not just Anand and I. Like, if Anand won the lottery and if I got hit by a bus, at the very least, Chris and Katie would still have an idea of what's going on with the grant. So I know it's kind of a mouthful, but I wanted to open up and see if anyone had any feelings, stuff we missed, or stuff that y'all wanted to change, or any ideas, because this is going to become more important. Chris?
The only thing I would put in addition to is our quarterly reports. We can put them in our quarterly reports also, because our treasurer does have a quarterly report. And I mean, it's not incredibly important, but I mean, they already do that. So if it does get missed, it will happen at least 4 times a year too. So.
Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Sure, I'm putting it in right now.
Okay, if it made it easier. Steven?
It all looks very elegant. The only question I have, since you're on such a tight timeline, whether either of the main signatories have any travel plans during this critical time.
That's a really good question.
Go to Iceland. No, we can't go anywhere.
I was thinking the same thing. It's a good thing I can't travel anymore.
Yeah.
I know. You'd be in what? Japan? Or where are you going? It was Japan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's a great point. Thanks, Stephen. Does anybody else have things they want to discuss? Chris, I added your Ian and Anand will work with the WCC secretary to integrate grant information on the WCC quarterly reports. So we can definitely do that.
Sounds good. I think it looks great. And I know you guys put in a bunch of work last night on it too.
Yep. Thanks everybody for showing up. That was awesome.
I'll second it.
Sweet.
Unless anybody has any more questions. Is that Travis with the question? Really? Okay. No problem. All right, moving right along.
Oh wait, can we take a vote? Travis, I think as
I can't unmute you. I tried.
Oh yeah, I was voting for it because
Oh, okay.
if you move the motion and he seconds it, then it's voting time.
All in favor?
Arr.
Any in opposition? Nope.
Yay.
All right. It looks like we have done some business. Speaking of business, did you put all of the notes up on Facebook or YouTube?
So I got like a couple minutes.
Okay.
We talked about the site.
Okay, sorry. Oh, jump past. Oh wait, I have to do it. I already did. No, that's great. Thank you, guys. Ian, did you have any more updates, or was that just the two? Hi, Christy.
Yeah, I got an update, and then something on the grant. So for the grant, we got an additional $46,000 for quarter 2. So that brings us up to $81,000 that we need to spend before December 30th. I had a conversation with Tim Morris from Springfield Eugene Tenant Association today, and they're excited for the prospect of working with us. The things that they want from us are a 1-page statement of work, a contract for services, as well as the data that we want from them. Annika yesterday made a suggestion about creating quarantine boxes for folks, for renters who need to quarantine, to create these boxes that would prepare renters with all the supplies that they need, for folks who are super low income, who are right on the margins. So Tim thought it was a great idea. Excited to get folks' feedback when we start to put those together. Anand, I thought that you might have some ideas too from putting together the emergency kits.
You
Um,
may want to check with public health. This is not a section that I work with, but you might want to check and see whether or not they have associations with people who are already doing some of that. They may. I've heard a lot of conversations in my cubicle or around my cubicle where they've talked about with people saying, okay, do you have enough food to last 2 weeks? So there seems to be some movement to try to make sure that people are supplied. I don't know the extent of it. I just know something's going on.
Okay, yeah, I will check with my contacts at Lane County Public Health and put together a list of stuff to bring back to the board so we can talk about spending money. Chris, we got a new grant agreement similar to the one you signed previously, but this one asks for less insurance. So I just wanted to get your okay to sign the new grant agreement, but this one, instead of asking for us to get automobile insurance, it doesn't ask for that. So
Yeah, sounds good.
sweet. And then I'll send that tonight. And then Katie, we should be getting $81,000 transferred into the bank account, or maybe we'll probably get $36,000 transferred to the bank account before September 30th. And then after September 30th, we'll get another $46,000.
And the bank account we used was a fiscal sponsorship, right? I can't remember. I'll look it up. I have it.
Okay.
Steven?
Does the fact that the second round of funding has come through mean that expenditures on the first round of funding can get rolled over with a new December 31st date for both rounds of funding expenditures?
Yep. So I think your question, Stephen, was if money that we don't spend for the first 3 months from July to September, can those monies be rolled over into the second 3 months,
Yeah.
October to December? That is correct. Yep.
Great, good.
Yeah. If anyone doesn't have any questions about that, the other thing I was going to share is that I got appointed to the police commission on Monday.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn a lot more. I've talked to a few cops about it. You know, it's pretty toothless as a committee because the police commission, or excuse me, the police chief's making, you know, all the decisions. We're just an advisory body, but hopefully right now there's a lot more focus on things that people want to do. And I think it could be another opportunity for us to propose some policy around the unhoused because I know the police want out. They want to be less involved with enforcement for camping and things like that. The last thing I want to say is that I had a call with our representative for the grant. Her name's Palmira, and she represents both Douglas and Lane County. And she gave us a call because she asked me what was up with the sweep at Scoburg Gardens. Because what happens to us reflects on her, right? Because we're kind of part of her flock. And so some of her colleagues asked her, what's going on in the Whitaker? You have these folks serving unhoused people. And I sent her the article with Annika's picture and talking about Chris and the interview that they were done. And I just told her that, you know, we're not responsible for calling in EPD. And I told her about sanitary housing and how we want to convert Scoburg Gardens eventually. But I wanted to give people a heads up.
So, I'm on mute.
No, I just put you on mute.
Oh. Okay. So, hey, one thing, Ian, about these sweeps, which is, I mean, it's pretty traumatic. The sweep that happened at Scobert was because Jesus had lit the cauldron when he wasn't supposed to.
It says that.
We already told you. But there's a challenge. Yeah, so he lit the cauldron because he's trying to bring the Red Seas back together so that it'll rain. That was true. The other thing is the sweeps were directly related to one call-in from the neighbor next door. There's people all up and down the road by the Rose Garden again. That's another camping spot. And that has been called in a bunch of times by a lot of different neighbors. So they're only responding when they want to. And that's what's really challenging, because what the policeman told us was that it is illegal to camp in Eugene City parks.
That's the response.
That's the
around
response.
city
Yeah.
center. Yeah.
So I just see a strange sort of response sequence by them, as in it doesn't fit the rule of law. If you have, go ahead, Christy.
It would make me wonder personally if the person who called in that one call might know people within the force and that why they would be listened to.
He doesn't. Yeah. Actually, I know him. His name's J.D. And he's a really cool guy. What happened was it was so dry there, he actually told Jesus to put it out. And Jesus, Jesus does what he wants. He walks on water. So he was like, fuck that, man. He's like, I'm not going to have you burn down my house and my kid. And so, I mean, and I talked to him about it too. He's like, I hope you're not pissed that how can I be mad? I mean, only an idiot would start only someone who is off his medication and possibly isn't being seen by a healthcare professional would have a fire in a cauldron summoning up Moses,
This is points to a bigger picture.
Yeah, it points to a bigger picture that we need some healthcare representatives in our neighborhood, stat, immediately. Brad?
Yeah, last night during the meeting, that Thea was going to come to our meeting and she couldn't because she was busy getting EPD to come out to a homeless person who set up their tent next to the community garden and was starting a fire next to our wood chip pile. Like, come on, man. So yeah, the fire is kind of like, you got to go now.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, I really don't. I know people need to eat, but common sense dictates during a wildfire season, I don't know, maybe we need to set up a kitchen somewhere. Have a couple burners, propane, it gets stolen. We should do it anyway.
I hear there's a resource center going in.
We should put it in front of the resource center. I went by there just the other day. There's a cute group of campers behind there. It's completely trashed. So it's looking good already. I'll tell you that. I'm really excited. But no, I just don't want to be associated with anything that has to do with these sweeps. I mean, they're not sanctioned camps by us. It's just compassionate people that are going out trying to help, our fellow humans. But there's so many people there's probably 100 people over at the Washington Jefferson Park down towards the Rose Garden right now. When we gave, I can't even tell you how many things we gave away, but over 100. We gave 40 tents away in 10 minutes to people who didn't have a tent. They had nowhere to sleep. Like, it wasn't like a whole bunch of people came up and said, give me one, These people had nothing. They had absolutely nothing, but they left with a toothbrush. They left with a tent. They had a sleeping bag. So pair of socks. And yeah. So I don't know. Ian, go ahead, Katie. I'm sorry.
Well, I noticed when I drove down Washington today that, that strip where all the campers are, the RVs and stuff. Somebody has a few people have their tents set up on the grass there, which I have no problem with, but there's a huge bike shop.
Oh,
there.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I walked over and gave them sandwiches the other day.
And I thought the city rule was the city parks rule was no. I was
scared. They're scared of those people.
Yeah.
I went over there and introduced myself, said I didn't shake hands. We touched weenuses, but, but they were humans, they deserved food and they deserved a smile. But Lord knows they had some $1,200 bikes that were being rearranged, and the fat tire bike was there and all types of other things. And we had a really good conversation. And I said, hey, it's an alternative economy, isn't it? I said, it worked in Detroit in the 70s. When you have houseless individuals with no way to make any income, this is what you can expect. Petty crimes. But these petty crimes are our crimes because we're the people that are directly contributing to that alternative economy. So I don't know and I don't want to advocate for people to get removed, but if you have a bike chop shop, put that on the map. Anybody could do that. My problem that I have is when you move that one person, they just go right across the street. And then it takes 2 weeks to get them to move right back across the street where they were. So it's a waste of resources by having them come out, put the signs out, come through, pay the city workers. I don't even know how many thousands of dollars it costs to bring them out to every single campsite. But I'm sure we can put people up in a home for that. You know, I mean, I think we probably could. But I won't keep going on. I'm sorry. I said I'd be quiet. Does anyone have anything else this evening? It's 7:38, Ian? Well, all right. Unless someone has something else, I guess we can go forth and do good. Cheers, my friends. We'll see each other hopefully in the community or next Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Susan, nice to see you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all. Thank you very much. Ian, excellent job. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Bye, y'all.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah. Hi.
I have something that's, do you know anyone that has N95 masks that I could purchase? And I could also donate to get more, but I can't leave my house because of my respiratory condition. So I can't leave to go buy it, and I can't find any online. So I'm looking for someone that has some I can purchase and give money to get more for other people.
Okay. Do we have one here? What? I will look and I will get back to you either later tonight or definitely tomorrow morning. And if I can find it by tomorrow morning, I'll drop it on your porch.
And tell me, is there any way to give some money so people can buy more? I can help with that.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably, well, I mean, right now I would just hold off because I think we can buy some with some of the grants we have coming up.
Oh, right. Okay.
I mean, we have to spend that money, so we probably should. But yeah, I'll get working on that right now. Actually, hey, Dan, are you?
If I get a mask, then I can go out and do some things that I can't get out right now.
Okay. Hey, Dan, are you still here? You're on mute.
He's not hearing you.
He had a couple, but I'll ask him. He's my next door neighbor.
Okay, great.
Okay, but I'll get back to you, and thank you very much for coming to the meeting.
Yeah, I'm cooking and listening.
All right, bye,
Thank
Susan.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.